You never borrow data. You've not borrowed data. You never borrowed data in 2 months now, and you don't ask questions. You don't know why. For MTN, you know they borrow data again. You know they borrow airtime. Even when you day for need, even when you're, emergency day, you can't borrow data, and you've not asked why. Well, stick to this video. Let me break it down as simple as possible so you understand. So now, you get people where we call the lenders and the borrowers in the teleco industry. So aside from MTN, Glo, Airtel, and all of them, they are not the direct borrowers, but those people work in collaboration with them. And not just only them, with banks. That's why you can buy airtime from your banks. So they work with them and your banks, like mostly now, your fintech banks, InterSwitch, Verve, all of them, OPay, PamPay, MoneyPoint. Abi, they go there, they see cash back, they borrow, they see all those things, flexi credit, they see Amabi. That is a very big company. Now let me tell you how big those industry is. The industry is worth over 3 trillion in net transactions yearly. Some people estimate it to be at 5 trillion yearly. And they make over a profit of 500 billion. What did I say? 500 billion. You see how big that industry is. So the truth. So ever since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in, the people that have been handling this borrowing side of our Teleco, a South African company, we call them OPAs or something, and they've been doing it for more than 10 years. Since, if you remember, they say you should put *55*1* whatever, and they tell you Obasanjo, I ain't get that one naira. It might not be a lie, it might not be Obasanjo, but there's some interest. So now this video can justify that and that you used to hear. That industry is a very big one. You heard how much I called? About 5 trillion in net transaction and 500 billion in profit after they don't settle and all that. So South Africans, they handle them since. So when Bola Ahmed Tinubu entered, some of him guys, where their eyes, they chook. And I want to call their names so that you put it in your head. 1, 2 brothers called the Alubankudis. Saliu and his brother, Alubankudis. They are the special advisor to the president on technical and digital issues. And they have direct access. They know they report to anybody. And Tinubu they follow talk direct. And we have Mr. Bello, who is the chairman of the FCCP, that's Federal Competition Consumer Protection Commission. Now them they in charge of any time where companies they treat you wrong and so many things. That's where you report to. So they oversee some of companies in Nigeria that deals with us directly, right? And the NC. So those are the people that are pushing this deregulation. And they said that the aim of pushing this deregulation now make local players in the borrowing industry make the fit they chop from that 3 or 5 trillion market now. So no be South Africans alone go to chop for over how many years. In our country, we call that capital flight. When people from outside come and take the money from your industries and take it back to their place, paying little tax, just like MTN and so many things. But it's a free trade zone. We allow people to come and invest in your country, yeah. But there's a way to protect your own country too, so that they will be getting. That is why we've been telling South Africa, stop chasing us away and so many things. That one are by the side. But this is a massive reshuffling and tussle for that industry, which is very massive. States don't get up to that. Some states, some big states, then get up to that in a year. And that is not just the issue. The one that will blow your mind is that they are jostling not for the money alone. They are jostling for data. Somebody that controls data of about 50 million people, because that is the estimation of the people, use these services and telecommunication. So if you have the data to about 50 million people, you're talking about more than a country in Europe. You're talking about 2 countries in Europe. Think about how much and how expensive data is. Because with data, you run the world. Data, you facility industry. So we're talking about bank accounts. We're talking about details. We're talking about your data as a human being. They know where you are. They know how you borrow. They know your lifestyle priorities. They know, they can actually predict you for campaigns, for advertisements, they sell data backdoor. So that is what is happening. A lot of people see things in Nigeria and they don't know that every single thing you see in Nigeria has a backstory. So this is the backstory to why you've not been able to borrow in 2 months now. It is not because MTN don't know. They are fighting for the soul of a 5 trillion market. And we have about 9 companies from Nigeria that have enlisted part of that. And the president have given approval. But South African people will be in monopoly, carry them go court. So we're still trying to implement that. They said there should be a review of the whole deregulation framework by FCC. That is where they are fighting for now. So it might take a little longer for you to start borrowing, but this is what is happening. 5 trillion naira market and about 500 billion naira profit annually. That is what we're fighting for. I wanted to bring this for you on a Sunday morning so you start thinking. Now, why you never borrow money since? You like how I break it down? Why don't you follow me? And remember, we'll have existential conversations coming this evening and a lot of things to talk about. Ciao. God bless.